And the way it does this is by allowing managers to focus on risk, providing reporting that allows a manager to quickly see high risk, medium risk, and low risk entitlements enables a manager to make a decision and an effective decision more quickly. But it allows managers to look at historical information. Instead of looking at only current certification review information, managers can look at changes over a period of time from previous certification review campaigns. And even more so, managers can have persona dashboards that allow them to measure results more easily, look at completion of certification reviews over a department or a specific organization, and roll those results up to higher levels of dashboards. But to provide even greater meaning to the information, Oracle Identity Analytics provides a business glossary and a dictionary along these entitlements to make the entitlements more meaningful. Instead of having a cryptic entitlement string, a manager can actually have a business description that enables them to make an appropriate decision. One of the things that's always been missing from entitlement review has been the ability to journal and make notes about an entry, similar to the way organizations keep track of mitigating controls. Oracle Identity Analytics provides approval notes, which allows a manager or reviewer to actually make notes about a review that can be visible across multiple campaigns. This provides this critical capability for journaling and providing meta information so that reviewers in the future can have better decision making and better guidance. Oracle Identity Analytics provides delegation so that if a manager isn't able to certify a review, they can delegate someone else in their department or an administrator to actually perform the certification review, which helps speed things along. So by quickly allowing the organization to prioritize based on risk, divide and conquer, and better information across certification review campaigns, Oracle Identity Analytics simplifies the user experience. With lots of certification review activity, typically a help desk has to take the task on of fixing all of these, which means a lot of administrators spend a lot of time touching lots of systems, changing entitlements. Oracle Identity Analytics combines with Oracle Identity Manager to provide closed-loop remediation, which is critical. After an analytics review is done or a certification review is complete, the system quickly sends a signal to the provisioning solution to automatically change a user's access appropriately. This has the impact of reducing help desk volume. You can imagine with help desk volumes already at an all-time high, having all of the additional remediation activity now can exacerbate the system. But more importantly, it provides closed-loop reporting and a complete audit trail of user access and changes. So combined with user provisioning, an administrator or a manager can quickly see all of the approvals for a user's access, see the certification review trail, and at the same time confirm that the changes were actually made in the system to remediate the access in a timely fashion. This has the net result of increasing throughput. Identity Analytics provides role management, which gives organizations complete role lifecycle management so that instead of certifying millions of entitlements, they can focus on certifying a few roles. In order to do this, Oracle Identity Analytics extracts entitlements from numerous systems and applications into an identity warehouse where role mining algorithms can operate on those entitlements and define enterprise roles. Those roles can be further refined until they reflect the audit and compliance standards set for the organization. To make it even simpler, Oracle Identity Analytics provides role modeling, which allows administrators and security personnel to actually model roles and do what-if analysis. The net result is this improves audits and actually improves the accuracy of reporting. 14% of the remediation activity today is focused on erroneous or excessive access, which can be prevented. Oracle Identity Analytics does some things that are preventative and detective to help simplify and streamline this process. When users are being onboarded, Oracle Identity actually provides separation of duties as a preventative check so that those violations can be found at provisioning time instead of being detected in the audit process. At the same time, when user access is being changed during the user lifecycle, Oracle Identity Analytics can provide a risk score. So for example, if the access is emergency access or root access to a specific system, the risk score would be very high. This risk score can act as a flag that lets a manager actually detect that when they are certifying access, and it can be quickly remediated. Oracle Identity Analytics also can look at the offboarding process to make sure that reviews of users who have separated are actually flagged for managers so that we don't accidentally certify users who have actually separated from the company. Combined with simulation and the ability to have a 360-degree view of a user's access provides transparency that managers didn't have before. Instead of a one-off process where managers are looking at a specific application access for a user, they can now see that user's access in totality, and they can view a holistic picture of the user's access and impact on the organization. And to simplify the process, Oracle Identity Analytics provides ongoing reconciliation, which can check for changes that are made out of band, and appropriate remediation activity can be taken. It's important to realize that identity audit and compliance is not a function of certification review alone. It's really a function of a combined system of things acting in cohesion in order to drive effective results and provide the appropriate controls. So at the foundation of that is having a singular identity, which is knowing who's who. Beyond that, it's providing authentication, for example, appropriate passwords, and providing a way for applications to have a centralized means of authentication. Administration and managing user lifecycle is a critical part of the equation, and as a preventative measure for security risk, providing adaptive access and risk management. Most organizations start identity management as a series of point product tools, but as identity management has evolved, the process has become more about intelligence and about an integrated platform. And by taking a platform approach to identity management, organizations can reap the greater value. So today it's really about scale. Tomorrow have to worry about the extranet, and they have to worry about the cloud environment or applications deployed to mobile environments. So in order to provide effective audit, we really have to look at certifying access to millions of users and millions of entitlements in a hybrid environment for the cloud. Platform that allows an organization to adopt any number of components knowing that they are integrated out of the box and interoperable. This lowers the total cost of ownership for an organization adopting a platform approach. The Oracle platform is composed of a complete identity governance solution, access management solution, and a complete suite of directory services, which provides a complete identity management strategy from an organization. With regard to compliance, certification review is not the only challenge. Organizations have to look at controls around passwords, so enabling end users to change passwords and making sure that those conform to organizations' password policies, providing self-service requests for access, but making sure that that request for access conforms to separation of duties policies, being able to capture a complete audit trail of approvals. In terms of forensics, administrators have a complete audit trail to look at, but the platform approach means synergies between the products. So, for example, role-based user provisioning, the roles between Oracle Identity Analytics and Oracle Identity Manager are interoperable, which simplifies the overall process. At an access management level, the platform provides a complete enterprise single sign-on solution and web access management solution, and accommodates for federation as well. As organizations extend into the mobile world and provide applications on mobile devices, the platform allows for single sign-on to mobile devices as well, so that end users don't have to remember a plethora of passwords. It provides a complete suite of directory services, which are highly scalable, provides for storage, virtualization, and synchronization. What differentiates the Oracle approach is that all of this is combined into a platform layer of services that allow developers to build homegrown applications and allow each component in the platform to interoperate with one another, both in terms of common data and common functionality. A recent study by Aberdeen of 160 companies worldwide found that companies that took an integrated platform approach to identity management saved 48% when compared to companies that took a point solution approach. In addition, most of those organizations had standardized processes across departments versus individual one-off solution in a per department basis. More importantly, those organizations taking a platform approach were 46% more responsive when it came to remediating audit violations and providing user access change control. And more startling is that organizations that took a platform approach had 35% fewer audit deficiencies when compared to their peers. A large fraction of the cost savings comes from getting better economies of scale from a user to administrator ratio by providing a common user experience and integrated solution, reducing the overall integration time that it takes in-house to integrate solutions. The platform approach has significant advantages for organizations. Organizations have to scale by adapting. In order to adapt, organizations have to streamline the process in which information is gathered to run certification review campaigns. Oracle Identity Analytics provides a streamlined, automated way to capture information, store them in an identity warehouse, and execute certification review campaigns on a rolling basis. Also, it's about simplifying the user experience. Allowing managers to focus on risk enables them to produce more certification reviews faster and reduce the time it takes to conduct a certification review campaign. Oracle Identity Analytics has benchmarked for scale by providing capability to scale to millions of entitlements and millions of users. At the same time, it's about providing closed-loop remediation. If we are able to only shift the workload to a help desk, we're not really solving the problem. So Oracle Identity Analytics combines with Oracle Identity Manager to actually fix violations in real time, which allows an organization to actually streamline the process and reduce their overall workload. If we do all of these things right, the net result is we prevent our audit exposure and make our organizations more secure.